I thought I'll spare you slides and stuff and just kind of share some of the things that we're working with. But I actually had to have one because it's all about the brand, obviously. You all heard about Angry Birds, so don't need to go too much into that. But one thing, those of you who weren't in the morning session that we had, Rovio, we've been making games for a long time, so since 2003. And Angry Birds is not our first game, it's actually our 52nd game. And this is one thing that I always like to bring up because there's always this illusion out there that, oh yeah, these guys just got lucky and they made a game and, people downloaded it and, all of that. It didn't quite happen like that. We actually been working hard on games and concepts around games for many years, so since 2003. So not quite, or let's say an overnight success that took 7 years to make. So that's how it goes. But it's also I think when you look at that all of us entrepreneurs and people working at startups, you have to be a bit crazy because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's a lot of hard work, but also what keeps us going is that there are potential big rewards out there, and of course very big reward is actually then getting that hit game, and obviously we've done that with Angry Birds. Okay, then maybe a bit of the history besides that we started in 2003. I think one thing that is very interesting, if you look at Angry Birds, that it's very much a character-driven exercise. So we had been making games for many years, as I said, mostly work for hire for other people, EA, Gamehouse, Nokia, and so on. So we know a thing or two about making games. But then we decided that, okay, we don't want to make games for others because, it's not that much fun and it's not a good business. So really start looking at creating our own IP. And then Jaakko Iisalo, who is one of our game designers, he had a concept with the birds, and the game was different. But then everybody fell in love with the characters, and I think that the characters, again, to really go into that, that's so important. And that's also when you look at people in other areas of entertainment. You look at Pixar. They spend an insane amount of time building the characters and then building the story. And of course, we're no Pixar. If you look at Angry Birds, we've exposed very little of the backstory to Angry Birds. But one thing that is very important is that we have a lot more of the backstory to Angry Birds developed. And we're exposing bits and pieces of that with every new game, with every new thing that we're doing. And every new thing that we're doing, that's also a very, very important point. That we don't view ourselves as a games company anymore. We're really out to build next generation entertainment franchise. So when you look at the Angry Birds story, so it's very simple. It's about the birds, and the birds get very angry because of the pigs that steal their eggs, and who wouldn't get angry in that kind of situation? So it's very very simple. It's kind of like the classic Roadrunner cartoons. That those are also pretty simple. There's a simple motive for the coyote to get the Roadrunners, and then it repeats, and the same thing if you look at Angry Birds, that it's this epic battle between the birds and the pigs, and it just goes on and on. But anyway, I was talking about the other things that we're doing. So building an entertainment brand. So we're exposing more of the Angry Birds story, not only through the games, but we're doing that through the short animations that you can access through the game, but you can access on YouTube. We made a bunch of those. There's 110 million plus views of those videos, and they're telling part of the story, introducing new characters. And again, we don't view that as something that is just there to promote the game or the games, but it's actually those videos are there to stand and be of value in their own right. So it's not again that, okay, let's do a video to promote the game, or let's make a game to promote the video, but it's all part of building out the Angry Birds world. Same thing now that we're working with or work with Fox on Angry Birds Rio. So Fox guys who made Ice Age made this movie called Rio, and then we worked together with them, expanded on the Angry Birds world, linked it to the world of Rio, and kind of like the story there is that the first time our birds leave the island where they live, it's because they get kidnapped, shipped to Rio, and then like the game starts from there. Plus, it also links to the movie, so it all expands on the story, and in a very, very organic way. So it's not one of these typical like movie games where oh, let's make a game about this movie and let's just come up with some mini games and hope people buy into it because it's about Rio. So that's something that's very important for us, that everything we do has to fit with the story. And yeah, as I said, it's not like Pixar scale story yet because we just got started, but that's the ambition, and we're building out the world in everything we do. And again, games, videos, same thing goes for the toys that we're creating, the board games that we're making. So it all has to fit with the Angry Birds world, the Angry Birds universe. So that's something that's very, very important. So yeah, it's not all about mobile games. For us, it's really it's part of this whole kind of like thing called Angry Birds. Then another thing also, being from Finland, we're simple people. We like to keep our things, like simple. So for us, when we look at our business, so I talked a lot about, like the characters and the story. So that it's all about, in the end, it's all about the brand. But even more important to us, now when we're building this next generation entertainment franchise, even more important than our brand are the fans. So we're two things that we care about, and that's like again the simplicity, that we only care about our fans and our brand, and then everything we do revolves around those two things. And then if we make some money on the side, great. But that's something that we don't worry about too much right now. It's all about building an audience around the brand, serving our fans. And one thing that I think is very, very important, and why I talk about this kind of like next generation entertainment franchise. We don't think that there is any excuse in this time and age not to have a dialogue with your fans. With the, we don't necessarily talk about users or consumers or something like that, but we really want to be at a level where we can really talk about fans. We have to deliver the kind of experiences that gets fans. That's something that is really, really important. But again, what we try to do, we really work with our fans. So and why do we do that? Because we can. I mean, there's a lot of companies who say that, oh, they're like using social media and they have a fan page on Facebook, and yes, they do Twitter and they do this and that. But we actually reply to every single tweet, every email. Okay, not every comment on Facebook, but we try. So we try to really have a constant dialogue with our fans. And not only on Twitter, Facebook, and all of that, but the same thing goes for our 10 million plus fans in China. So we have actually more followers on Weibo, so the Chinese Twitter, than we have on Twitter itself. And we talk to those Chinese fans all the time. So for example, now we asked our fans in China that, okay, what should we put into a special version of Angry Birds for Chinese New Year, if we do such a thing? And then, we got feedback that there should be red envelopes. Okay, I have no clue why, but again, like that's important. I don't know everything, about Chinese market, but I can learn a lot by talking to our fans. And I think that this is something that is very, very important, that now when we're looking at kind of like the future of entertainment and, like interactivity here, very, very important that we actually make use of the capabilities that we have. I mean, we can talk to our fans through our interactive game, through our games every day. And we do. But try to do the same with, let's say, if you want to reach all the fans of Hello Kitty, okay, good luck with picking up the phone, talking to Sanrio in Japan, hopefully somebody speaks English, and then you're like, oh, I would like to tell the fans of Hello Kitty that there's this really cool t-shirt that we just designed. So the traditional entertainment franchises are not built to cope with interactivity. And I think this is a huge, huge change that now when we're building the next generation of entertainment and entertainment franchises, they need to be built for this kind of like collaboration and this kind of constant dialogue with the fans. And I think that this is something that is really changing. And we are one of the first brands to actually emerge from the mobile side. So we didn't come out of a movie or TV or something else, but this is actually something that was built and emerged from a mobile game. So I think that's something that's very interesting. Then one more thing that I wanted to add about interactivity. So one thing that we just announced a couple of weeks ago, something called Angry Birds Magic. So we are building the interactivity not only for online consumption, but we're building interactivity between the online, so our games, and the real world. So Angry Birds Magic, the first phase we're building on top of NFC, so near field communication, RFID, all of that stuff. But we can actually make it very, very easy for our fans to interact with retail, with brands, just by touching. So taking your Angry Birds Magic capable device, and you can go to a retail store and touch stuff, or you can touch one of our toys, and you will unlock new experiences in our games, in our videos, in our products. So we're building Angry Birds Magic into every game, every toy, every product that we're making. So it's all, again, bring it all together into kind of like one Angry Birds experience. So again, something that I think entertainment franchises of the future need to be built around these kind of concepts. But anyway, that's all I had, and I'm out of time already, so I'm going to kind of like get out of here. But I'm going to hang around, so if anybody has any questions, comments, feel free. Thanks.
Thanks for your talk. That's from Data with Love.
Oh, excellent.
And
so can I actually like eat this?
Yeah, you can. It's really fresh, so it can break.
Great.
Be cautious.
I'll be careful.
One thing that I was wondering is, will Angry Birds be the next Super Mario Brothers?
We're going to build something that goes way beyond games. So in games, sure, but we're thinking movies, animation, books, toys. Okay, yeah, Mario has toys as well. And okay, Mario has been on TV, and they made a movie that wasn't like amazing. But yeah, so I mean, sure, Super Mario is great, and we're all big fans of what Nintendo is doing, but we're thinking way beyond games. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.